Very nice opportunity for me to have some discussion with the extension personnel who are working in the field, grassroots level with the farmers. And you people are not transferring the technology. And nowadays, this, new approaches are there, and you will be discussing all about the thing. But the export is, I have been given a topic regarding export. Now, farmers are also asking question about the export. Now, suppose so many advanced farmers, so they are much interested in how can we get benefit from the export. So either we can directly export or we can get indirectly benefit. So though let's say farmers are not able to export, but if someone is exporting, then also farmers will get benefit. So we all know that. So nowadays agricultural export is very important area. So the people are discussing, talking about the agricultural export. So as an export, as an extension personnel, if you have the idea or the knowledge of the what is the situation, current scenario of agricultural export in our country, and where is the potential, how can we increase our export, how can we increase our income of the farmers through export, then I think you can provide a very significant role in this area. So before that, no, you at least all extension people must know what is the current scenario of agriculture export and what is the potential, what is the growth and potential in agriculture export, so that this message can be conveyed to the farmers and other people or the industry people, so that the way we can increase the export of our country and ultimately the income of the farmers can be increased. Now, in this particular lecture, I would like to start with the importance of export. Why we are no everyone is talking about export, export, and export? Because if you see the world over, the country who are very who have been developed, economically developed. So here I have given one thing that Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog, recently he has given this thing that there are four pillars, especially four pillars. Three begins with human resource, investment, and governance. And country has traditionally relied on to accelerate its growth since the economic reforms in 1990. So export, rising export is an integral part of economic development. So along with the other pillars of this, so export particularly is an engine of economic growth, we can say. So whatever countries have developed economically sound, they all, if you see this is the map of the world GDP. Total GDP of the world is $80 trillion in 2017. Uh, but you see these countries which are having the largest share. You can say here that the United States and China and Japan and here in green shaded European Union. Uh, so these countries are well highly developed economically, very much sound. Why? If you do analysis, then you will find that because of the export, their export is very high, and that's why their economy is high. So all the developed countries have developed on the base of their export. So we can, in India also, if we want to, suppose our India, here is our India, our total GDP is about $3 trillion, and our target is to reach to $5 trillion, right? So here we have a lot of things we have to do in area of export. Export is one of the engine of economic growth, as I told you. No, if you look at some other country like Japanese country and South Korea and Singapore, so if you to take the recent history of this country, economic development of this country, and you will find that they have taken the model of this globalization. They have taken the advantage of globalization through export, and that's where this country have developed very fast. So if this example says that if any country want to become an economically powerful, then they must focus on their export. These are the benefits. So many benefits of export-led economy are there. They can improve this employment possibility. They can have some lots of other benefits are there, but I don't want to discuss this much. Directly, I want to jump into Indian agriculture. And what is our strength for export? You see, India is the world largest producer of spices, pulses, milk, tea, cashew. So many crops are there where we are the largest producer. But even though our share in of this particular product is also in the world market is very, very limited because we have a large population. So our domestic demand is also very large. So even though nowadays no agricultural development, we have in so many products, we are in surplus, and even we don't. Sometimes we find that we don't have sufficient space for storage even. So this is going to be spoiled. So if we can export these products in the world market, so there are a lot of opportunities for us. India is the second largest producer of wheat, rice, fruits and vegetables, sugarcane, cotton. You see, so these are the very, very important agricultural commodities where we are either number one or number second in the world. So we have a very good chance for increase our export. India is the among top five net exporter. Yes, net exporter means our agricultural export is more than our agricultural import. Now, if you see as a country as a whole, then we are net importer country. It means that India's total import is is more than the India's total export. It means that we are always in a deficit of foreign currency, and that's why government always is keen to increase our export. But particularly, it is a matter of proud for all of us that in case of agriculture export, in case of agriculture sector, we are the net exporter, means our total exports are more than our imports. And in the world now, we are not only that, but we are one of the top five net exporter country in the world. The government of India has introduced agriculture export policy, especially to enhance our agriculture export. Government has introduced a special policy in 2018, which aims at doubling the agriculture export. Our agriculture export is around $30 billion, and our target is by 2022 to $60 billion. So for that, we have to integrate our farmers with the global value chain. So if we are able, then here is the role of extension machinery. That how can we connect farmers with the global market? So global markets are very, very demanding agricultural products, and there are a lot of opportunities. But how can we convey this message to the farmers? And not only conveying the message, but we have to integrate the farmers with the whole global value chain. Then only we can increase our export. Now, if we look at the total export of the whole world, then what is the world scenario of export? These are the different countries. You see, China ranks one with the largest export, total export I'm talking, not about agriculture export, but total export. China's export is more than 2,000 billion dollars, whereas European Union, US, even USA is the number third one. And India's rank is 20th. We rank 20th with only $300 billion, whereas the China, who is in top, is having more than $2,000 billion. So just you can imagine the export situation of China and India. So you can just see that we are, in spite of having the lots of favorable conditions, we are only at the position of 20th rank. Now, if we see the total export of India, it is increasing over the years. If you see, I have given the last 10 years data. 2009-10, it was only 8,000 crore rupees. 8 lakh crore rupees. Sorry, 8 lakh crore rupees. But in 2018-19, it reached to 23 lakh crore rupees. The total export I'm talking about, including agriculture export. So if we see the journey, we will find that it is total export of our country is increasing about by 9% per annum. So it's a wonderful growth, we can say, and it shows there is a tremendous scope that we can increase our export. Here is the share of export in GDP's value. Here also you can find that it is increasing very, very significantly. Now come to the agriculture export. Agri export from India is also increasing like total export, but it is again having the little more high export growth. It is about 10.68%. Earlier it was only 85,000 crore rupees, and in the year 2018-19 it reached to 2.69 lakh crore rupees. Agriculture export in the last year, means 2019-20, it is slight reduced, but you see the growth of agriculture export from India is very, very remarkable, or very, very so here these are the, see, APEDA has classified all these agricultural commodities. See, growth is very high, but we want to know which particular product is showing the more significant growth, so that we can identify such kind of product and we can focus on that particular product. So all these agricultural products have been identified or classified into 43. These are the 15, these are the 30, and these are the 43. So total 43 product groups are there identified APEDA, and the total value of export is 2.48, 2,48,000 crore rupees is the total export. And if you see the first 31, this is the largest product which is in agriculture, it is exported is marine product. More than 47,000 crore rupees annual export, 1990-20, and this value is about 19% share in total agriculture export, followed by basmati rice, spices, buffalo meat. These are the products, but these are 15 products, and this another 15 products are having the export value more than 1,000 crore rupees in agriculture export. If you see this particularly product, particularly as a product or product group, having the high export value, there is more than 1,000 crore rupees. These are the 30s. And again, I studied these all 30 products. I forget about these 13 products. But out of these 30 products, which are having the export value more than 1,000 crore rupees in a year, I mean last year, we studied the export growth of last 10 years, 2010-11 to 2019-20. We wanted to know which particular product is having the significant growth in export. And we find that out of 30 products, 18 products shown this positive and significant growth. And these 18 products are, one is marine products, and basmati rice, spices, buffalo meat, castor oil, tea, fresh fruit, coffee, miscellaneous processed items, fresh vegetable, processed fruits and juice. Here is a cereal preparation, tobacco manufacture, processed vegetables, cocoa products, pulses also, yes, vegetable oil and milled products. So these are the 18 products are such that which has either in quantity or in value terms from the positive as well as statistically significant growth, indicating that these products are very, very potential for agricultural export for the future. So we should focus on this type of, these particularly products. Now let us see one by one these 18 products. I will discuss only these 18 product groups, where it is produced and where it is exported, and what is the significance or what is the potential in export of this product. So here you see this is the marine product are the top ranking product in agriculture export, whose total export value is about, you see, as I told you, more than 46,000 crore rupees in a year, in the last year only, 2019-20. and its growth is increasing. It's in value terms. It is increasing by 16.49% per annum. You can just a very, very high export growth. Even in terms of quantity also it is increasing significantly. And which are the products in marine product particularly? So this is the export basket. The frozen ships are the having the largest share in export, 73% of the total marine product, frozen shrimp. So this is the product we should focus more because its share is very, very high. Now, where these marine products are produced in our country, if you look at the Andhra Pradesh is the largest producer of marine, fisheries production. So this is inland fisheries and marine fisheries. This is the total of the fisheries and this is the percentage share. So Andhra Pradesh is the leading state in production of marine and as well as inland total. West Bengal followed by the West Bengal. Even Gujarat is the third largest producer of marine product, fish product. Even our marine product is very high as compared to inland product. Odisha and Tamil Nadu are also important states where so India is the second largest fish producing country in the world after China. So here also we are second largest producer, just like other crops. So here it shows the tremendous opportunity for increasing our export. Where we are exporting this marine product, who are our buyers? Here you see this is the major export destination for marine products. USA is the largest buyer with 38.37% share of the
સર
marine export from. Hello?
હા સર એક થોડુંક કેવું હતું કે જે સ્લાઇડ કરી ને આપણે
Hmm.
હા એ નેક્સ્ટ નથી થતી અને
Share not થતી.
હા શેર તો છે જ પણ ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન કરીને નેક્સ્ટ માં નથી દેખાતી. ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન કરી દો એક વાર અને નેક્સ્ટ નથી થતી આમાં એટલા માટે.
નેક્સ્ટ નથી થતી. મેં ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન તો કર્યો છે પણ હવે થાય છે બોલો. હવે થાય છે સ્ક્રીન શેર?
ના સર નથી થઈ.
અચ્છા તો પ્રભુ
એક વખત સ્ટોપ પ્રેઝન્ટ કરીને ફરી એક વખત કદાચ કરી દો.
ઓકે સ્ટોપ કરીને કરું છું.
હવે 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 દેખાય છે. હવે ચેન્જ થયું દેખાય.
દેખાણું હવે? અચ્છા હવે હું શિફ્ટ કરું ચેન્જ કરું છું સ્લાઇડ.
ઓકે થઈ જાય.
ઠીક છે હવે હું તમે ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન કરું છું બરાબર અહીંથી કરું છું ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન. હવે ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન થયો? ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન થયો?
એક મિનિટ સર. હા એક મિનિટ કદાચ થોડી વાર લાગતી હોય.
અચ્છા વાર લાગશે. જસ્ટ યુ વેટ ફોર is it okay now?
Okay. Okay.
Slide is changing?
Yes, sir.
ઓકે ઓકે.
Okay. So yes, now so if you find any difficulty in online, you just immediately call me, so I can make corrections. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it will be simply speaking, and you will not be able to get the message. Okay. So
Yes,
here
sir.
I was talking about the marine product export. Okay. So this is the largest, what we can say, the top ranking product in agriculture export, with about 19% share total. So here is these are the countries where we are exporting the marine product. USA is the largest buyer from India, and China, European Union, and Southern. These are also the very important buyers from India. Here I wanted to say that the marine products are currently exported from India more than 100 countries. So there is a vast area where we are exporting our marine products, and a lot of opportunities are there. Now, if we come to the second important product after marine product, it is the basmati rice, which is also have significant growth rate of 9.40% annually. So you can see that tremendous export is increasing over the year of basmati rice. And basmati rice, as we know that it is a very unique product. And we have recently, Apada has got the GI tag also. So it gives, a very, very well or very much opportunities for us to export this particular product. Haryana, Punjab, and Uttar Pradesh. These are the three major producing states in our country, who produce the basmati rice. And these are these countries who are the buyers. Iran is the largest buyer with about 28% share. And next buyer is Saudi Arab, Iraq, and so these are the Gulf countries. The all Gulf countries are our buyers of the basmati rice. So there is a very good scope also because it is over the year it is increasing. So you see the total value of basmati rice export is more than 31,000 crore rupees per annum. Another product, third important product is spices. Now, as we know that India is the land of spices. We all know that we known for spices in the world since a very long. We have a very long history for that. So, India is the largest producer, consumer, and exporter of spices in the world. We are exporting about more than 225 spice items. But out of this 225, 5 major items are here. Chili is the topmost spices which is exported from India with this much of share. And the total chili export value terms, it is more than 6,000 crore rupees per annum last year, in 2019-20. Apart from chili, the mint products is also is important spice which is exported. Then cumin, yes, oils and oleoresin and turmeric. Turmeric ranks fifth. Otherwise, we are having so many other products also we are. And the growth you see again, very significant growth in last 10 years. That in value term, it is more than 10%. So we can say that if our farmers have either some vision in exporting spices or they are producing the exportable spices, then they can get the benefit. So here we have to give message to our farmers that they must focus on the production of exportable or which have the high export potential. This kind of product they should produce. They should produce such kind of quantity that, or sorry, quality that can be exported. So here a lot of money is involved in this thing. Then who are the producer? Yes, you see the chili, the largest producer is Andhra Pradesh, and followed by Telangana and MP is also there. In mint products, mainly it is produced in UP, 95% production, only in UP state. In UP also, some pockets are there where mint is produced. But mint is, a very, very important product for export because nowadays in so many toothpaste and so many consumable, in personal products, healthcare products, it is being used. And that's why the export market is increasing day by day. And a lot of stocks are there. But UP is the largest producer. Punjab and Haryana has little role. Cumin again, Rajasthan and Gujarat, two major states where cumin is produced. And cumin market is also very, very high. Turmeric, Telangana, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, these are the states where if you look at the total spices, means not only these four, but all these 225, that is the spice products we are exporting. If we look at the production, then MP is there, Rajasthan is there, Gujarat is there. Almost all the states of India produce either any one or the other kind of spices. And there is a scope for increasing the export. So if we can focus on the export of such products, then we can, domestic price can be improved, farmers' income can be increased. So spice, so we must focus for the export purpose. These are the export destination where who are the largest buyer. For chili, China is the largest buyer. You can see China, Vietnam, Thailand. For mint product, again, China is the largest buyer. 40% of our mint product is exported to China only, followed by USA and Singapore. Cumin is mainly exported to Vietnam, Bangladesh, USA. Oil and oleoresin, USA, China. Turmeric going to Iran, USA, and Bangladesh. So if you look overall export of all these spice products, the largest buyer is USA. So it's a very, USA is economically very sound country. So we can get very good prices also. So here China, USA is the largest buyer. of our spice products, followed by China and Vietnam. Another product, important product, is buffalo meat. Buffalo meat is also where the total value I can show here. The total value is more than 22,000 crore rupees. Export is for this buffalo meat. So this buffalo meat is produced. These are the important states: Uttar Pradesh, UP, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. Now India has about 3,600 slaughterhouses, where there are 24 meat processing plants also, including 13 as a 100% export-oriented unit. And their export is increasing by 9.39% per year. So here, buffalo meat is also a very important product for export purpose. And these are the country where who are the major buyer: Vietnam, Malaysia, Egypt, Indonesia, and Iran. Another important product is castor. Yes, we are not exporting castor, but we are exporting castor oil. If we all know that the castor has a significant scope for having the value addition. So if we can have some derivative product from export oil, then we can generate, we can have no in multifold of this money by value addition. But it is it is a matter of sorry that we are simply exporting our castor oil, and we are not
સર એક્સક્યુઝ મી
we are not able
હા
to
હા 2022 પર જ છે સર સ્લાઇડ એમાં હજુ ચેન્જ નથી થયો
change નથી થતો.
ના સર
Okay, what is the problem then?
એક વખત સર સ્ટોપ પ્રેઝન્ટિંગ કરીને ફરી ટ્રાય કરી જોઈએ
અચ્છા એવું થાય છે. ઓકે, આખું મારે તો પ્રેઝન્ટેશન સ્ટોપ કરવું પડશે. ઓકે,
હા હા હા
ઓકે, લેટ મી
બોલ
stop presenting. Okay,
હા ઓકે
I have stopped it. Now again I am uh,
माझं पण रजिस्ट्रेशन कर मग
okay, this is now I am sharing. Is it visible now?
હા
Okay,
ઓકે અને સ્લાઇડ શો એક વખત સર કરી દેજો
ફરી સ્લાઇડ શો કરું છું અહીંથી window. Now this is full screen. Okay, is it full screen now?
ના સર હજુ હમણાં નથી થઈ
થશે full screen કરજો.
હા
થયું?
હાલે થોડી વખત થોડી વાર રહીને
वरचं लिंक आलं का खाली
Is it now visible?
ના સર પેલા સર ઓપ્શનમાં એન્ટાયર સ્ક્રીન આપણે સિલેક્ટ કરેલું છે કેમ કે એન્ટાયર સ્ક્રીન હશે ને તો જ લગભગ એ સ્લાઇડ શો દેખાશે
Okay, let me do entire screen. Okay, so I have to again I think stop sharing.
સ્ટોપ પ્રેઝન્ટિંગ હા
Let me first stop presenting.
હા અને એન્ટાયર સ્ક્રીન હશે તો જ લગભગ મને ખ્યાલથી કે એ
Acha, okay,
Slide
I
show.
am presenting entire screen. Okay,
હા હા
this is entire screen, but then I am showing this one. Is my slide now visible?
नो
હા થોડી વેટ પછી આવશે
Is it now entire screen?
नो
Hello,
सर
is it
हाँ
visible?
नहीं सर
નહીં
No?
સર ના ના હજુ નથી થયું
Wait, let us wait for few minutes. Is it now visible?
नहीं
નહીં સર નહીં
No.
નો
So what you are seeing on my screen? Because I have done the entire screen. This is I am changing the slide. Is it visible? No.
નો સર હું ટ્રાય કરું છું સર ત્યાં આવું છું એક મિનિટ સર
एक मिनट ऊपर रहो. Let me. नहीं, we are doing this way every time. I don't know what is the problem. Cancel. And presenting. We are doing normally a window, and from window it is possible, but then I don't know what is problem here. I think it should be visible now.
Yes, sir.
Visible થાય છે પણ you are not slide sharing, changing नहीं हो रहा.
Caster.
Let me change the slide. Is it now changing?
Yeah.
But if I do now full screen, then there is a problem.
Okay.
Is it now changing?
हाँ सर.
હવે હું let me do full screen, okay? If it is possible. This is full screen. Can you see this slide?
Caster.
Table 13.
Caster. हाँ 13. Yeah.
So now, hello. Now I am changing the slide. Please tell me it is changing or not.
Sir, go to sir. Please go to back.
Back. Yeah.
Mid slide.
This is 13.
12.
Now this is 14.
Like
Is it changing or not?
12.
No.
12 side.
Hello. This is 15.
સર કદાચ બની શકે તો મને એનામાં મેલ જ કરી દેશો તો હું અહીંયાથી ચેન્જ કરી દઈશ, વાંધો નહીં સાહેબ.
ત્યાંથી ચેન્જ તો મારે મોકલવું પડે ને તમને પીપીટી.
હા એટલે ઈમેલ જો થઈ શકતું હોય તો એ પણ કરી શકીએ.
હમણાં જ કરી દો, એક મિનિટ અપડેટ કરી દો. પણ આઈ થિંક અહીંથી કેમ નહીં થતું? પણ અત્યારે તો હું તો બધા લેક્ચર લઉં જ છું. હલો નીનાભાઈ.
એટલે ટેકનિકલી કદાચ ક્યાંક થઈ જાય છે સાહેબ, એટલે એમાં કદાચ વિશ્વજીત ત્યાં આવે છે, વાંધો નહીં, કદાચ પોસિબલ તો એમને પેન ટાઈમ આપી દેજો. નહીં તો
અત્યારે ચેન્જ નથી થતું.
હા એ ચેન્જ નહીં થતું. 27 નંબર. હા
હું તમને આ પીપીટી મોકલું છું. તમે
હા.
ત્યાંથી અપલોડ કરીને પછી મને કહો, બરાબર?
ઓકે હા.
Sir, slides are not visible.
હે? હું પીપીટી મોકલાવું છું તમને. ઓકે. હા શું પ્રોબ્લેમ થાય છે?
એમ સ્લાઇડ દેખાય છે
હા
પણ પછી
ચેન્જ નથી થતું. સરળ રીતે થતું. હું એક મિનિટ આ છે ને આપણાને સ્લાઇડ મોકલી સ્ટોપ પ્રેઝન્ટેશન.
હા વિનામાં સર દેખાય છે?
યસ યસ દેખાય છે સર.
ઓકે હોલ સ્ક્રીન કમ્પ્લીટ છે ને?
ચેન્જ
હા,
કરી શકો, ચેન્જ કરો તો વધારે આઈડિયા આવશે.
ચેન્જ કરી.
नहीं 12.
ગો હેડ સર.
हाँ.
ઓકે
Okay.
દેખાય છે ને?
Come to. हाँ. Okay.
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 If you find problem, I have also provided you one PPT. So if again it is creating problem, then you can start from there your computer. Okay. Hello. Ninama.
હા હા સર. ઓકે સર.
So should I continue?
હા પ્લીઝ ગો હેડ સર.
Okay. So we were discussing about the export of data.
Sir.
Hello.
Sir, please discuss on last slide. 12 number.
12 number. Yeah. This is the
Okay.
buffalo meat. Buffalo meat. Is it visible?
हाँ sir.
So okay. So these are the country where we are exporting buffalo meat. Okay. I will provide you this presentation. So please, all participants, I request you don't just try to write down or something noting. Nothing, no required. I will provide you, or your officer will provide you this presentation. So you can anytime you can refer it. Just simply concentrate what I am talking here. If you have any query regarding this export or anything, then you can immediately ask me the question. No problem. Okay. Hello? Hello? Hello, Ninama?
હા ચાલુ જ છે સાહેબ, અવાજ તમારો કમ્પ્લીટ સંભળાય છે.
Yeah, but only I just asking this participant.
હા
Huh?
હા
No need to write down anything. Okay? They all will be given this PPT. Hello. So I was talking about the export potential of castor. Now we know that these are the three important states for castor production. Major are Gujarat and Rajasthan. So India is the world's largest producer and exporter of castor. About 87.53% production and export also. We are the largest exporter of castor in the world, and export is also increasing significantly. But what is the problem that we are exporting castor oil? So instead of if we can produce derivatives from the castor oil and then we can export it, we will get value-added product. Will get more money. That is the issue. See here, China is the largest buyer of our castor oil. About 38% alone, China alone is consuming. But then what China do? They do value addition in castor oil. They buy castor oil from India, from us, do value addition means make lot of derivatives from there. And they have 900 times value addition. So you just can imagine that the opportunity that we can also have. So if we are doing some research and some infrastructural work for castor derivatives, then lot of scope is there. Another important product for export is tea. It also export is significantly increased by 5% per annum. And this is the where it is produced in our country. This Assam and West Bengal are the largest producer. This is the 51. Alone, only Assam is alone is producing more than 50% of tea, followed by West Bengal and all that. So India is one of the world's largest consumer of tea also. सुबह होते सबको चाय चाहिए. So we are 75% of our country's production we are consuming, and only 25% we are exporting. But the export of tea is also a significant product. Where we are exporting, these are the countries: Iran, Russia, USA, UAE. These are the important countries where we are exporting tea. Another product which is fruits and fresh fruits. Yeah, fresh fruits we are exporting. Our value is more than 5,000 crore rupees. Export of fresh fruits. And major products are grape with about 40% share in fresh fruit market, world market. I mean the export market from India. Grape, then followed by pomegranate, banana, mango, and orange. These are the 5 fresh fruits which are having the high export potential. But you look here, our import, yes. You will surprise to know that we are importing fresh fruits more than about 14,000 crore rupees. Our export value is highly about 5,000 crore rupees, but more than double we are importing also. It means that lot of domestic demand is there for fresh fruits, and as well there is the export demand is also there. So here, because we are the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world, but our share in export market is hardly 1%. So there is a lot of scope for exporting these fresh fruits, and particularly these 5 products: grape, pomegranate, banana, mango, and orange. These are the states where it is produced. Grape, we know Maharashtra is number 1, about 78% production from Maharashtra alone, followed by Karnataka. Pomegranate again Maharashtra, 63% production, and next is Gujarat and Karnataka. Banana, Andhra Pradesh is the largest producer. Gujarat is the second largest, and Maharashtra is also there. Tamil Nadu. Mango, UP is the largest producer, followed by Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, Karnataka. And orange, Andhra Pradesh with 61% production of country, followed by Maharashtra, Telangana. If we look overall production scenario of fresh fruits, then Andhra Pradesh is the number 1 with 15% share, Maharashtra, and So this is in particularly banana and mango. We are the largest producer in the world. So it shows that there is a tremendous scope for the export of this banana and mango because we are the largest producer in the world. And these are the market where we are exporting. Now grape, Netherlands is the largest market. Pomegranate, UAE and Bangladesh are the major markets. Banana, Iran and UAE, Oman. So these three Gulf countries along with Nepal. Mango again UAE, UK and USA. And orange, Bangladesh alone. See 84% of our export of orange is only alone Bangladesh. So here if we look at the all over the fresh product, then Netherlands is the largest buyer and UAE and Bangladesh are the major export destination for fresh fruits. Another product that is now we know that the processed item. If we look at the world scenario of agriculture product, we will find that 40% share is only of the processed item, while raw and semi-processed has the less important in the world market. But in India, we know that miscellaneous products has comparatively lower share as compared to fresh. Here we see that the export market for this type of processed product like soft drink, so several kind of soups and ketchup and pan masala, sopari, mal, custard, these all our products are exported. And the export is increasing in value terms by, you can see here about 17% per annum. Very, very high significant growth in processed products as compared to fresh products. And the export value is also more than 4,000 crore rupees. So these all type of products, pan masala and sopari and ketchup and sauce, if we can make this type of products, value-added products, then there is a vast export market. So this we can tap this type of opportunity with this type of value addition in fruits and vegetables. And if we look at the coffee, yes, coffee is also another significant exportable product with more than 5% annum per this is the growth. India is the sixth largest producer and fifth largest exporter of coffee in the world. These are the states where coffee is produced in India. Major is Karnataka with about almost 70% production and followed by Kerala. So these two states, Kerala and Karnataka, has the almost largest share in the coffee production. And these are the countries where we are exporting coffee. Italy is the largest buyer, followed by Germany, Russia, Belgium, USA. Another important product of export is fresh vegetables. Now, nowadays, as the income of the people is increasing all over the world, people are demanding more fruits and vegetables. And that's why world demand of fruits and vegetables is also increasing. Even fresh vegetable is also increasing. So which are the products which are having the high importance is the onion, potato, mixed vegetables, and green chili and tomato. These are the 5 products ranking the top 5 products in export basket of fresh vegetables. And if you look at this, onion alone has the market more than 2,000 crore rupees, about 50% share of fresh vegetables. If you took the total fresh vegetable exported from India are about more than 4,000 crore rupees, right? And the growth is increasing at 7% per annum. So you can just imagine the export potential of fresh vegetables. So many vegetables are there to export. These 5 are more important. And where these are products produced, see onion, Maharashtra, MP, Karnataka, they are the largest producer of onion. Potato, UP is the largest producer, followed by West Bengal and Bihar. Green chili, Karnataka is the largest producer. MP, followed by MP. Karnataka and MP is almost similar. In Bihar, tomato is again Andhra Pradesh, and MP is the second largest producer. So this you can see that the fruits and vegetable, I mean particularly here vegetable, all the states of country produce either one or other kind of vegetable. So there are number of vegetables that can have export potential, but these four are more important. Where we export the onion, fresh onion, the major countries are Bangladesh, Malaysia, and UAE, even Sri Lanka also. Potato exported to Nepal. You see, Nepal, our neighbor country, is alone buying about more than 50% of potato, which is exported from India. Oman is the second largest, and mixed vegetable is going UAE, Qatar, Kuwait. Green chili, UAE is the largest buyer with 63% share. UAE and UK. Tomato is again Bangladesh, is a nearby country that is consuming our tomatoes 41% share. So you just see all the countries, they all are neighbor countries. So the export market of fresh vegetable is concentrated in our neighbor country. If you look at this thing. So this is the scenario of fresh vegetable export. Now another important product of export is fruits and juice, processed fruits and juice. So in that particular group, mango jam jelly, mango pulp, and dried grapes and roasted cashew nut. So these four products are more important as far as export is concerned, and the total export value is 4,500 crore rupees. Right? If you see mango pulp, some Andhra Pradesh, some Chittoor and Krishnagiri district of Tamil Nadu have the main clusters of mango pulp. Some processing plants are there in Maharashtra and Gujarat also. But this group of fruits and juice is increasing by 10% per annum. So very good export potential for this particular group of the product. So we can focus on these products. This jam jelly is exported to Netherlands. These are the countries who are the major buyers of our fruits and juices. Another product, that is the cereal preparation. Now cereal, major products in cereal products are bakery products, biscuit, cornflakes, even papad. You can see here is the cornflakes, crisp bread, gingerbread, malted food, pasta, papad. They are exported to various countries of the world, and the export in quantity term and in value, both term, it is increasing significantly over the years. And these are the major buyers. You can see USA alone is the major buyer of our cereal, this type of product. Nepal and Bangladesh and all these countries are there. And the total export value is about 4,000 crore rupees. And these are the produce where it is, now another product is tobacco, yes. Now tobacco is also a very good exportable product. And here it is, we can see the tobacco, either manufactured tobacco or unmanufactured. The total export is about 6,000 crore rupees. But the significant growth which was observed only in the manufacturing tobacco. These are the producing states: Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Gujarat alone is producing more than 50% of the country's tobacco production, followed by Andhra Pradesh. Right? And which is the significant growth was found in tobacco manufacture, with this value more than 2,600 crore rupees, and the UAE is the largest buyer, followed by Afghanistan, Thailand, and USA. So this is about the tobacco export of the tobacco product. Now in our country, government is banning tobacco products, and that's why farmers of tobacco are confused, or they are discouraged for the tobacco production. But here the if we can convert into exportable product, then we can export this tobacco product and we can help the farmers of the tobacco growers. Another important product for export is processed vegetable. Now in processed vegetable, major two items which have emerged are the cucumber and gherkin, and another is the onion, dry onion. Right? So these two products are very important as far as processed vegetable is concerned. And this market is also increasing by 14% per annum. So you just imagine that how much opportunity is there for the processed vegetable products. And these are the country where we are exporting cucumber and onion powder. You can see. Another important area of pulse is the pulses. Now, actually our export is very little, only 1,400 crore rupees, but we are importing in large quantity about 8,000 crore rupees because there is a vast demand, domestic demand. But even though in certain products like Kabuli chana, other chickpea, Bengal gram, these products have very good export market also. And the export of pulses is also increasing by 5% per annum. These are the states where we are the largest producer is Madhya Pradesh. If we look at the total pulse production of the country, so Madhya Pradesh is the number one with 33%, 34% share, followed by Rajasthan and Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. So these products, some of the products can be exported. This is Kabuli chana, other chickpea, where is the market? This is the export market for our pulse product. This is the another product for cocoa product. Yes, cocoa product, as we know, is a commercial plantation. It is produced in the LS species of coconut and areca nut palm. And the major states are Kerala, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. And these are the major buyers. But you see this how it is export is increasing. In value term alone, it is increased by more than 30%. Very, very significant growth in the cocoa this product. Because the chocolate, it is manufactured from this product as chocolate. And this type of product, food product market all over the world is increasing. So there is very, very high opportunity for export of this type of product. Another product is vegetable oil. Vegetable oil, we all know that we are not the net exporter, but we are importing a lot of vegetable oil because our country's total requirement is 25 million tons and we are only producing 10 million tons. So remaining 60%, 15 million tons, we are importing, and our largest import is of this vegetable oil. We all know that we are spending about 70,000 crore rupees only and only on vegetable oil. And we are importing. If we can improve our production in oilseed production, then we can reduce it. But if we see this export, yes, again, some product like groundnut oil, soybean oil, and mustard oil has certain export opportunities also. And it is export of this product is increasing by 21% per annum. So here there is a need for increasing the oilseed production, and simultaneously there is some products where have the export potential also. These are the states where we are producing this groundnut and soybean and rapeseed and mustard. And because these three products have the export potential. And looking to this need, we have to domestic production of the edible oil should be increased to reduce this dependency of this import. So government has proposed a national mission on edible oil to reduce the dependency of import. These are the products where we are exporting. This is China. China is the largest buyer of our groundnut oil. Bhutan is the largest buyer of our soybean oil. Right? So this way there is a lot of opportunity for vegetable oil also. Another product of important product is you can see this is milled product. Milled means major product is 70% share is only wheat flour. So wheat, menda. Menda is exported to, it's a very large mass. You can see more than 700 crore rupees. We are exporting wheat or maize flour is also in little quantity we are exporting. So these two products has also export value. And you know the EP, Punjab, they are the largest producer. Even MP, Haryana, all these states are wheat producers. Even maize produced in this country, and the flour has the export potential. These are the meal product where it is the exported. The UAE, these are the products. Korea is the maize flour largest buyer. So if you, these are the 18 products as I explained here. These all 18 either product or product group has the high export potential. And if we look at the overall agriculture export of food last year, 2019, it was about 2,48,000 crore rupees. And largest buyer of our agriculture product is USA, followed by China, Iran, Vietnam. And our agriculture export is increasing by 6.25% per annum. So this is the overall scenario of agricultural export. So it shows a very tremendous opportunity that we can, if we focus certain products where we have achieved the significant growth. So if we advise our farmers and our stakeholders to focus on this product, we can again increase our agricultural export. So this is my conclusion that how 18 commodity groups which are very, very important, and which are the country where we can focus to increase our export. That I have explained everything. These are the information that I got from the various websites. Now I would like to give some insight about the export promotion. Now yes, if our farmers are interested, or if we want to increase our export for particularly agricultural products, who is going to help us? So Government of India and even state government, in our Gujarat, we have Government of Gujarat, in your state also, all the states of our country, they are promoting agriculture export. They have their own schemes and supporting programs for increasing the agricultural export. So I would like to highlight some of these where the Government of India is promoting the agriculture export through these various measures. You see, this is common to all of us. This is for Gujarat state alone, but every state has their own promotion scheme. But if I would like to mention some of the scheme of the Government of India that helps in increasing the agricultural export. Am I audible? Is there any problem, Ninama?
Yes, sir, no problem.
No problem. Okay, the slide is changing. Hello?
Sir, sir.
Is there any problem in viewing this slide?
No,
No.
sir. No, sir.
Okay, so then first part I have completed. Where is the opportunity for agriculture product? Where we should focus, right? That I have completed. Now the thing is, if people are ready for export, then what kind of information they want? They want that, yes, what kind of support we can provide them. So here, Government of India has several schemes for that. One is the EPC called Export Promotion Council. Another is Commercial Mission. Another is Free Export Policy. Another is incentive, where several incentives just like MEIS. It is stopped now, but another scheme is there. Agri Export Zone. Free Trade, FTP, Free Trade Agreement, but this is the FTP, Free Trade and Partnership. Okay, then I will see what is it. Exim Bank and ECGC. These are the where we support the exporter to increase or to motivate the exporter for increasing the export. Let us see one by one. What is EPC? Export Promotion Councils are nothing but the institutions that has been recognized by the Government of India, either it is owned by the Government of India, and they have several schemes for the exporter. See, there are 37 EPC for all the product groups. for all the, it may include the pharma and engineering products and all that. But if we choose the agriculture related export, we have 9 APCs working in the agriculture area, and major one is APEDA. We all know about the APEDA. So APEDA has certain products. The majority products are covered by the APEDA. Some products are covered by the Spice Board. There is coffee board also, coir board, rubber board, tea board, tobacco board, coconut board, and for marine product, as I told you in the earlier part, that marine product is the largest exportable product in agriculture, and AMPEDA is there. So these government bodies have several programs for exporters to help the exporters to increase our export. So if you want to know what APEDA is giving, what Spice Board is, how the Spice Board is giving support to our export, then they have their own websites are there. So if you visit their website, you will find several schemes of export, and that's so let us see few schemes of the APEDA. What is the role of APEDA in promoting the agriculture export? So this is the APEDA's website. So I have taken all this information from this website. If you want to know the current information, you can just go on this website apeda.gov.in, and you will find this is the home page. Here there are several these APEDA products are there. What are the schemes here? You can get this information. Trade information. So how we are now exporting. So whatever products are exported to which country, what kind of quality is required? Yes, you will ask me, suppose some farmer want to export banana or mango. What kind of quality is required? So we know that the different country has their own standard of quality. So what kind of standards are for Canada? What kind of standards for European countries? What are the standards for export to Japan? Like this. So the various countries have various quality standards. That information can be obtained from this APEDA's website. Several WTO requirements like the SPS standard, it is also available from here. Statistical information is here. And if you want to know who are the exporters of agriculture products, you will get the whole directory from here. Yes, one more is Agri Exchange portal. Now APEDA has developed a portal where they provide all kind of statistical information about the agriculture, the data. They provide the data for agricultural export through this Agri Exchange portal. And lot of other things are there. You see one by one. These are the products covered by the APEDA. The APEDA headquarters is there in Bombay and Delhi. And these are the functions of APEDA. The major function is to promote the agricultural export. So for getting the benefit of all these export benefits from APEDA, we have to, or exporter has to be a member of that. That is called RCMC. So RCMC is registration cum membership. So for this, getting the RCMC, one has to visit the APEDA website, and there is online application. Their fee is very nominal, only 5,000 rupees or plus service tax. It is hardly about 6,000 rupees for 4 or 5 years. That is the total project. Sorry, that is the plan for export. And then they have to renew it. So this is the how we can get a member of the APEDA. But after getting the member of APEDA, what kind of benefit you can get? These are the benefits of being the member of APEDA. One is scheme for market development, scheme for infrastructure development, scheme for quality development. See, let us scheme one by one in short. One is the market development, MDA. Suppose you want to develop your market for, let's say, banana export or mango pulp, suppose you are producing, and you want to visit the foreign country for your export. Now, the person who is new in the export business, they don't have sufficient funds to visit the foreign country, because we know that there are international exhibitions going on around the year in the world over. And if you can visit this international exhibition, you can increase your export. But if you don't have financial capacity, Government of India through APEDA provide the market assistance. So here for one visit to certain country, area of the country, you are entitled for getting 2,50,000 rupees for one visit. See here, for different countries, so 1.5 lakh to 2.5 lakh rupees you can avail from the government of India through this scheme, even if you have not exported anything, because you want to develop the export market, and for that you want to visit the foreign country. You can make five different area, 5 visits, and one area you can go for 3 times. So at least an exporter can have 15 different visits of various countries for export development. So this is a very good money that government provides for development of your market. Another scheme. This is suppose you want to visit the foreign country, where you will visit. So this is the APEDA's website. There is called trade information. Here there is called one is called event. Where are the event is going? Suppose this is the AHAR in 2021. It is going to be happen in April 6 to 10 April. AHAR will be there in New Delhi. Suppose you want to participate in this event, what kind of help you can get from the APEDA. So this is the information given in their website. At the end of this page, you will find apply online. So you have to simply apply online for getting the benefit of the participation in the trade event. So several trade events are recently there was a 10 to 12 March 2021. There was a 3 days meeting at India Rice and Agro Commodity Show. This was there. So it's a type of India fruits and vegetable and flower show. So this type of domestic event as well as international events are there, where if you can participate with the financial help from the APEDA. These are the schemes for market development. Suppose you want to ask it for the details. Several schemes are there. That I'm not reading all these things, but you can visit the website of the APEDA and you will find. So this is the 25% of the total cost, or sometimes 50% of the total cost. The ceiling is there, maximum up to 5 lakh, up to 10 lakh, you can get the benefit from the APEDA. Infrastructure development also is there. Means, suppose you want to export banana, fresh banana, then you have to establish a export, what I can say is you have to prepare the banana for export, that is called pack house. So if you want to establish a pack house for banana, it costs you about, let's say, 20 to 25 lakh rupees. Then how can you get finance? See, government, APEDA provides 90% grant in aid. So government provides subsidy as well as loan to the exporter for such type of infrastructural development. Either you want to have a pack house, if you want to establish, let's say, quality laboratory like thing, or some kind of processing equipment you want to purchase, and government provides the loan as well as subsidy. So this is infrastructure development scheme. This is also infrastructure development scheme. These are the quality development scheme. If you want to improve your quality for world standard and you want certain help from the government, yes, here is the financial help available from the APEDA. Capacity building, yes. If you want to get training, or if you want your staff should get training, some financial help is available. Some transportation, yes, sir. If you are transporting banana or mango from America, suppose USA, through airline, it's very, very costly. Then government provides some transport subsidy also. For a selected product for selected countries, how much amount is available? That is called 10% of FOB in 10%. So these are the way how you can get the transport subsidy through APEDA. And some states also provide. Suppose in government of Gujarat has a separate scheme for providing transport subsidy to our exporters. So these are the transport subsidy by air, transport subsidy by sea. You will get what is the rate, how much subsidy you can get. This is the region where, suppose you are exporting to African region, this is the subsidy rate, Australia, European region. So this is various. Another kind of support from APEDA is they have nowadays developed the different kind of net. It is called HortiNet. So here is a grape net. In part of HortiNet, it is called, you can say, mango net, peanut net, meat net. In this, through this net, APEDA provides the various kind of technological support. Because nowadays, in market, they want traceability. Suppose you want to export pomegranate. So who are the buyer of, who are the producer of pomegranate? That information also required by the exporting country. So this kind of record we have to keep. That is called traceability. So how can you get traceability system? APEDA has developed a traceability system. If you are a member of APEDA, you will get help from the this year. So these are the, you see the website of APEDA, grape, pomegranate, mango. Then how you can get the, what kind of quality is required, how can you have trace net, and all these things are important things are provided, particularly quality standard as well as whatever the market requirement or packing requirement, packing standard, quality standard, all these kind of support is provided by the APEDA. It is the suppose groundnut. Yes, if you are exporting groundnut, then peanut.net is there. They're providing all kind of technological support. Here, this is how export APEDA has developed various kind of procedures. Suppose you want to export okra to European Union, then what kind of procedure you have to require? Right from production to procurement to quality control, packaging, and finally export. All this procedure has been set out by the APEDA for various products for various countries. So this type of technical support you can get from the APEDA. This is the Agri Exchange portal of APEDA, where you will get the various kind of data support. Right here there are sell offers, buy offers also. So if you have certain things you want to buy, you can put here. You want to sell, you can put here sell offer. And this website is not taking care. It is all over the world. People are watching this all the thing, and they can get. So this, if you have put your sell offer, you will get order all over the across the globe, because people across the globe are watching this website. One more thing that they have recently started is market intelligence bulletin. So a particular product, market intelligence means they analyze the data. Otherwise, APEDA was providing only raw data. Now APEDA has started not only providing the raw data only, but they analyze the data and they provide the intellectual, means all price analysis and all these things are also available through the APEDA's website. So which country are more potential, which product is more potential, that you can get from the APEDA's website. This nowadays organic product is also one important aspect for the export purpose. Now so many countries like Australia, Japan, European Union, they are demanding organic product. And how you can have a organic production in India? Now if you want to have go for the production for the export purpose, so there is a special program for APEDA that is called NPOP, National Project on Organic Production. So this, through this product, they connect. See, this is Farmer Connect. Now farmer, then there are the exporter and the world market. They all are connecting through this particular website of APEDA that is called Farmer Connect. So here there is a room for the farmer. Here there is a room for the exporter, and anybody who want to buy product, who want to sell product, they can be connected. So this is called Farmer Connect. So any farmer of your state want to connect with the APEDA for exportable product. Though he is only a producer, he is not exporting, but he can be connected to the exporter of that product. Suppose this is chili, dry chili. Your farmer are producing dry chili, but they are selling it in domestic market. Now they want that we have a exportable quality of chili that can be exported, and you want to connect to the whole channel, global value chain. You, the farmer, particular farmer of any state, can be connected with the value chain through this Farmer Connect program. Now, Government of India, I say APEDA, has created this thing. You just go to the website Farmer Connect. Here is the export guidance. Everything is there. Now, for the farmer, for the exporter, for the group also. Suppose you are not an individual farmer. You are having the farmer producer organization. FPO is there. That FPO also can connect to this global value chain, and some trade offers are also there. So if you are producing, if you are a group and you want to put your offer for sale, you can put here. So here, this is the various kind of support by the APEDA for the farmers to increase our export. This is this product about the APEDA product. Now, suppose you want to deal with the spices, then again similar spice board is there. This is the website, and various development scheme, quality standard, marketing. So again, similar kind of programs run by the spice board for the export of spice products. This is the export development and promotion scheme by the spice board. See, infrastructure development, trade promotion, lot of things are there. Again, commercial mission is there. If suppose you want to export your product to Germany, and what is the situation in Germany for your particular product, then there is a commercial mission, Indian commercial mission in Germany, that they will help our Indian exporter. So all countries of the world, India has this type of Indian mission abroad, and this information is available from the Ministry of External Affairs. So there is a website of Ministry of External Affairs. You click this website, you will get Indian mission abroad. You just click your country of interest and who is the government office who will help you in that particular country for your export. So here, if you have any export related issues, if you want to export your product, that this type of offices are there all over the world that can help us. So this is Indian mission, commercial mission it is called. Agri-export policy, as I told you, the government has introduced in 2018 a very exclusive policy for export, where there are so many schemes are there. They want to harness the export potential, particularly in agriculture. These are the objective of all this agriculture export policy, and in this what area they are working, strategic and operational area. And recently we told about the one district, one product. Right? So every district has been identified one particular product for export, and government is focusing through cluster approach. And that's where we can. So if we know which is the product of in your state, particularly which district has which product has export potential, and accordingly it is focused. Export incentive. So these type of several export incentives are provided by the government of India regarding the taxes and all that thing. These are the agri-export zones, and so the various crops have. So all kind of this particular such districts are this is for Gujarat state. So this way for your state also agri-export zones has been identified for particular product, and that product can be because government focuses export of that particular product in that area. These are the what kind of measures that they take. So various kind of these free trade agreement, FTA. So these type of agreements also are helpful in increasing our export. So if we have agreement with our other countries, then that particular country will have no import duty which is exported from India. So we have several free trade agreements with several countries, so which exporter can take benefit. See, most of our neighbor countries, all the neighbor countries, we have free trade agreements. So there is no need of that your buyer should no need to pay any export duty. So this is the benefits that a producer can take. This is one more benefit, that is ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation. This is the government department or government organization which provides the insurance for the export. So any kind of export, you have made from India, and if you are not getting the payment, if there is a payment default, if there is the country either exporter, your buyer is default, your country is default. So this in this particular situation, exporter payment is set by the Export Credit Guarantee Corporation. So just like insurance, we are getting the life insurance and several kind of insurance, health insurance. The government is providing insurance for the export through this Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, and so that your transaction with the other countries will be financially, you can be safe from any default or any deny of your payment. Exim Bank is another way of helping the exporter. I'm not going in much detail of the Exim Bank because I think a lot of time has gone and we want to have some question answer also. This is line of credit. Through Exim Bank, Government of India gives certain amount of money to the poor country, where with the condition that this poor country will have to buy from India. So if the government, this way we can increase our export, but this poor country don't have money to buy, so we provide them loan. That is called lines of credit. So Government of India has provided lines of credit to many countries of the world so that they can buy Indian products. So this way we can improve or we can expand our agriculture or all other exports. This is a comprehensive agribusiness policy from government of Gujarat. This is a special comprehensive agribusiness which focus on export also. That's why I have written here. This is not for this is the recently contract farming, because if you want to do export, you need a certain quality product. The certain quality product you cannot get from the APMC market. For that, if you want to provide a quality product, consistent supply, you have to go for the contract farming. So this way government has legalized contract farming structure, and these are the models, several models we are implemented. So this is the contract farming is one other way government is providing support. So these are the export prepared. Which state of the country are very much prepared for the export? The government of Niti Aayog has recently in 2020, last year only, they have prepared some index. What is the state, whether the state is prepared for the export or not. So they have identified all the states in a classified in the coastal and inland group. So this is the coastal group where these are the coastal states. And out of the coastal state, Gujarat is having the top with the export preparedness index, followed by Maharashtra. Maharashtra is also similar to Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Karnataka. These are the coastal states, how much they are prepared for the export. And other states are also there, but I have not prepared it. So here, all about the export, agricultural export scenario of the country and how we can provide this information to the last stakeholder, that is farmer. So this is not only farmer, but farmer or farmer group or even exporter, if they want certain help from you, that they can provide it. So ultimately, benefit will be to the farmer also. How? Because we know that if we have surplus production and if we are able to export it, then domestic price will not be collapsed. Suppose we have bumper yield of onion and we are not able to export it within time, then the price of onion will be crashed in the domestic market. Then farmer has to suffer. Now, if we want that farmer should not suffer, then we should be able to export whatever is the surplus production. So this way, agriculture export is very, very crucial for price stabilization in our country. So this is the way, if we can get any additional surplus production, if we are capable of export it, then we can maintain the price in our country, and as well as by exporting we can increase the income of the farmer also. If we are able to tap the export market, then definitely the price in the domestic market will also increase. So farmer will not only get the stable price, but also get the higher prices of their product. And that's why agriculture export is very, very crucial as far as income is concerned. Now, nowadays, government focus is not only in production, that we want to increase the production of agriculture. No, this is not the only aspect. Nowadays, we are focusing on the increasing the income of the farmer also. And that can be done with increased production as well as higher prices. And higher prices can be achieved with the agricultural export. And that's why export is more and more crucial. I think with these words, I would like to stop my presentation. Now, if you have any question regarding this agriculture export from participant side, you can ask me.
Thank you so much, sir.
हाँ, नीनामा भाई, अरविंद भाई.
Sir, yes, sir.
हाँ, is it okay that whatever I have information provided regarding the export, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in
हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट को अगर कुछ क्वेरी है तो आप सर से बात कर सकते हैं प्लीज सर.
from participant, you can ask me in Hindi also, no problem. Hindi or English, you can ask me. So, if anything you want to know more about this agriculture export.
ये सर बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर था,
Yes.
इंफॉर्मेटिव, पूरा एक्सपोर्ट सिनेरियो एंड APEDA ऑल स्कीम्स very nicely presented and explained. सर दो क्वेश्चन है कि एक तरफ है डबलिंग एक्सपोर्ट डबल करने के सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का जो विजन है, एक विजन है आत्मनिर्भर का, और एक तरफ से जो बाकी जो प्रोडक्ट्स है अदर देन एग्रीकल्चर टेक्नोक्रेट है, कॉम्पिटिटिव है, वर्ल्ड कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस होना चाहिए. तो क्या एग्रीकल्चर में सिंपल प्रोडक्शन और बाकी जो पल्सेस में आपने बताया कि 8,000 करोड़ रुपए पल्सेस वी आर इम्पोर्टिंग, तो क्या स्ट्रैटेजी में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, क्यों स्ट्रैटेजी ऐसी नहीं बन रही कि कितने साल से हम एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, अब फाइटर प्लेन भी हम तैयार करने की उम्मीद रखे, बुलेट ट्रेन, तो यह इतना आसान, इतना कठिन है कि क्या ऑयल सीड एंड पल्सेस प्रोडक्शन के लिए हम कुछ प्रैक्टिकल स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं बना रहे कि जो कई साल से हम 70,000 करोड़ रुपए से हम इम्पोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो क्या दिक्कत है इसमें?
Yeah, it's a very good question that we are trying our level best, but you see over the time, you see the health due to the health consciousness, the country importing country, because agriculture means most of the food products related to health, it directly affect the human health, or sometimes it is affected the animal health and environment also. See, most of the country which are the developed country like US, all are very much serious about their health problem, and that's why their standard of quality standard, they are not day by day, they are increasing more and more top standard. So earlier MRL, that is called maximum residue level, it is becoming more and more thin, and that's why we have to follow that standard, because their countries are demanding for more and more quality products, and that is not possible for our farmers are not that much prepared for that, because we are using lots of pesticide and a lot of things, because pesticide all the countries are using, but the way we are using the pesticide and fertilizer, our method is wrong, and that's why it is the residue problem is there. And if we don't know the proper post-harvest management, then we cannot fulfill this requirement of the foreign countries, and that's why in many cases we found that rejection of our cargo, and that's why if we have rejection, then there is a big loss to the exporter, and the exporter will not in the future will do any export of agriculture. That's why we have lot of setbacks we are getting. So let's say mango, many times our export has been banned by the various countries. In case of groundnut, so many countries have banned for many. Then again we have to go and explain that yes, now there will be no problem, we will take care, and again the export window is open. But a lot of hurdles is there. sometimes export policy that should be at the proper time we have to take decision. Like the commodity like onion, sudden production is there, and if government takes a lot of time to take the decision about this export, and then the export opportunities we are missing. So this type of sudden or timely action should be taken by the government. We have to be at par with the requirement of the country, other people. So accordingly, we have to prepare our farmers for we have to identify this is the production for the export and this type of quality is required. So farmers should be trained accordingly, and then only we can increase our agriculture export. Now, otherwise, we are exporting and our export is increasing significantly, but it is not at par with our capacity. Our capacity is far more than what we are doing right now. Because as you know that in most of the commodity we are either number one in the world, either number two in the world in production. But our domestic demand is also very high, as well as lot of quality standard or quality problem we are facing, and that's why we are not at satisfactory level. We are doing much better in this export front. This is the thing, I think, the problem. So if as the government is taking these export policies and all that thing, if they can concentrate, they focus, they use the universities and all the extension machinery. If they all have a combined effort, then only it can be possible. Yes, any more question from other participants? Hello. Hello. No more question, or is it time for lunch? So no, it is. Maybe. हाँ.
हेलो.
हाँ.
हाँ सर, हमारा क्वेश्चन था कि एक्सपोर्ट के बारे में था, नहीं था, इंपोर्ट अल्टरनेटिव के बारे में था, जो 1000 करोड़ ऑयल सीड पल्सेस है. तो वो अगर कॉमन आदमी फार्मर अगर वो प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है, हमारे क्लाइमेट भी डाइवर्सिफाई है, तो क्या हमारी एक तरफ से गेहूं और चावल का गोदाम ज्यादा से ज्यादा भरे हुए हैं और दूसरी बार हम इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो क्या ये हमें पहले से लकीना है या डाइवर्सिफिकेशन के लकीना है या क्या प्रॉब्लम है, ये बता रहा हूँ. क्योंकि साल एक हर हम डबल एक्सपोर्ट की डबल पॉलिसी है हमारी, लेकिन इंपोर्ट की कम करने की पॉलिसी कुछ नहीं है क्या?
Here it is the we are, as I told you, that we have a country of a very large population. So our domestic demand is also very high. So if we all these rice and all cereals are required to store, government has a responsibility that they have to store certain quantity of these food materials for our population. So most of the godowns are filled up with these rice and all this wheat and this type of commodities. So for that other commodities like for vegetables, which require a special kind of storage. So this type of facility has not so far been developed. So we are not in a position to export in much quantity. Otherwise, we are very good producer of all these fruits and vegetables, and even processing also, as I told you, that 40% of the agro products are sold in the world market are in the processed form. I mean, it's highly processed form, not only like ketchup and all that thing, mango pulp and all that thing. So we should also go, if you want to identify, you tap the export opportunity, we also should go for the processing. So this type of processing should be available. Technology should be available, and financial and all this type technological help should be available. Then only we can increase our export.
थैंक यू सर. सर एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, जो आप एक्सपोर्ट पोटेंशियल कहा बताया, वो एक्सपोर्ट पोटेंशियल अब्रॉड है, वहाँ उसके कॉम्पिटिटर भी उनकी जानकारी अपेडा या नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट पे है. अगर हमें गांव लेवल पे काम करना है तो एक्सटेंशन स्ट्रेटेजी कैसा प्लान करना चाहिए?
That all kind of information is nowadays available through internet. See, who are your competitor? Who are your competitor in the world? That information you can get from the OPEDA, even from the Commerce Ministry also. A lot of other private sources also who will provide that who are the international buyers. It means that who are your competitor in the, suppose you want to export chili, but who are the other country who are exporting chili? This type of information, and what is the thing from what is the type of chili they are producing, what is the season, at what period of they have the production in their country, and what is the current situation, whether the crop is bumper or they have the lacuna in the production, so that accordingly you can make your program. So this type of competitive information is also available through various government platforms like
हेलो,
लगता है कनेक्शन डाउन हुआ है, मैं बात कर लेता हूँ सर।
सर आगे।
so my connection was lost. Okay. Now I am connected. So this is the issue. Actually, information is not the issue nowadays. Lot of trade information, competitiveness, and quality requirement, and all these things is available. Only thing that if the people are aware of all these things, more and more people are involved in this activity, then only our export will be increased. So here is the role of extension machinery, that you people are the key people to provide such kind of information to the industry people and to the farmers and to all these things. Any more questions?
Thank you, sir.
I think it is lunch time also.
So
Even though if you have any question, you can ask me.
सर ने ऑलरेडी काफी इंटरेक्शन किया है, और कुछ भी क्वेरी है आपको हमारे सब पार्टिसिपेंट को रिक्वेस्ट है, अगर कुछ क्वेरी है तो आप कन्वे भी करवा सकते हैं। तो मेरे ख्याल से अभी सर ने जो पूरा जो एक्सपोर्ट पोटेंशियल क्या है, एक्सपोर्ट के रिलेटेड हमने बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन की, हाउ टू एक्सपोर्ट, इस प्रकार से कौन सी स्कीम्स अवेलेबल है, क्या एजेंसी से इन्वॉल्व है, उसके बारे में, उसके कार्यों के बारे में बताया। तो सर मेरे ख्याल से जो हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन थी सर,
अरविंद भाई, आप मेरा जो पीपीटी है ना, प्रेजेंटेशन, वो उनको प्रोवाइड करना, उसके साथ you provide my mobile number also, so all participants can have any queries, you can ask me anytime, no problem, in future also. So I am available always. If you have any question regarding the export, you can personally contact me on my mobile number. Okay.
Yes, thank you,
sir.
Thank you so much sir for kind cooperation. और बहुत ही अच्छा सर ने सेशन डिलीवर किया है। मेरे ख्याल से जो सभी हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट हैं, उनकी कुछ क्वेरीज होगी, वो भी सॉल्यूशन हो गया है। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर डिलीवरिंग द सेशन सर। और हमारे जो रमेथी से प्रिंसिपल सर है, सर हमारा जो आफ्टरनून सेशन है वही हम 2:30 बजे शुरू करेंगे। तो आपके जो है वहां से जो होस्ट होंगे, जो होस्ट को डील करते होंगे, उनको रिक्वेस्ट है कि जब भी 2:30 बजे के आसपास हम शुरू कर देंगे। तो जो दोपहर का सेशन है हमने थोड़ा बहुत चेंज किया था। रिसेंट एक्सटेंशन अप्रोचेस में एक मास मीडिया भी आता है, उसमें मास मीडिया में अभी जो सोशल मीडिया का ट्रेंड है, तो सोशल मीडिया में कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म पे हमको जाना चाहिए, कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म का कैसे इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए, पेजेस कैसे बनाना, ये सारी चीजें जो सोशल मीडिया में हम मैक्सिमम किस प्रकार यूटिलाइजेशन कर सकते हैं, तो उसके बारे में हमारा 2:30 बजे से सेशन शुरू होगा, जो कि डॉक्टर केयूर गरदरिया सर सेशन शेयर करेंगे। तो सर 2:30 बजे मिलते हैं। और
मित्रों, 3 दिवसात